Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session of our webinar, Grow with Adlantique webinar. I hope you're excited to be here as we are excited to have you here. As a small business owner, there are times where, you struggle with creating captions, you have great content, but you struggle with basically just creating captions for those content. Or you see a design somewhere and you want to replicate something very simple but you find it difficult to. Today's conversation is just basically to just help you redirect yourself, help you control all of that, and help you work on the kind of content that you put out and the kind of captions that you put out using simple tools that we're going to be talking about on this webinar today. I hope you're excited to be here. Please drop your locations where you're joining us from, your names and your businesses so that we can help answer some of the questions that you may have on the webinar and just help you navigate through as we go on the call. Thank you very much. On the call we meet today, we have Lamide and John, both from Adlantique. Excited to have you here today. I'll just be talking briefly about both of them to just give us a sort of insight onto who they are and what they do for us here at Adlantique. So I'll be starting with Lamide. Lamide is our resident content creator here at Adlantique, creating great content for us. All the content you see on our socials, videos and things like that for brands and individuals. And she has over 5 years of experience, doing that. And then we have John, who is also an account manager here at Adlantique, helping to manage clients' expectations and just giving them the best results possible here at Adlantique. Hi, John. Hi, Lamide. It's great to have you here with us today.
Hello, hi
Hi
guys.
everyone, nice to be here.
All right, thank you very much. If you are just joining us, welcome. We're excited to have you here on the webinar today. We are still taking in your names, where you're coming from, or where you're joining us from, and then the kind of business that you have to just help us navigate what we are discussing today. So today we'll be discussing two things. The first part of the conversation will be steered towards, using Canva for simple designs. And then the second will be geared towards basically just helping you create captions using simple AI tools that you can use to navigate your captions creations for your social media pages and things like that. So we'll just be having those conversations. If you did not join us on the first module for our webinar, we had a first module where we talked about, how businesses can link their Facebook and Instagram and basically using analytics to build up your content or the kind of content that you put out. Please go to our website at Adlantique and then check that out. You would have the recording fully there of all the conversations, questions that we asked, and everything that we basically discussed right there on the call to just help you understand where we have come from and where we are going to with the conversation. Thank you very much. One last tip as we go on. Lamide will be taking over shortly, but I would just like to give us a brief history of Adlantique, something very small to just help us understand. So Adlantique is a digital. Oh, hi, Sarah. We have Sarah joining us, and Sarah is an AI assistant. Hi, Sarah. It's just going to be a very exciting conversation because I can see people saying that they are coming from different places. And these are things that, will basically just help them navigate everything that they are doing. So back to what I was talking about regarding Adlantique. So Adlantique helps and empowers businesses in Nigeria and outside Nigeria to reach customers across different platforms. So we are a digital agency that just helps you navigate everything that you need regarding your businesses. And we have affordable packages for you to choose from. So basically we build around you, right? We don't just build stuff, we build around you to service your unique needs. And yeah, that's what we do at Adlantique. I'll be handing over to Lamide now. If you have any questions as the conversation is going on, please feel free to drop your comments and contributions in the Q&A session or in the chat section, and we'll just pick up from there. Thank you. Hi, Lamide.
Hi, Sakak. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I'm like a first-time teacher, but we'll see how this goes. Okay, so I'll just get into it. Okay, so today, like Insikak has already said, I'm going to be talking about how to create simple content for your business on Canva. So over this, past 2 weeks now. So last week we spoke about, linking your Facebook and Instagram and also using your social media insights to create informed business decisions. So this whole thing is all speaking to individuals who just launched their brands or their businesses. So you're just starting and you're your own content creator, you're your own social media manager, you're your designer, you're your marketer, salesperson. So it's overwhelming. And we know all these things. That's why this session is really important for you if you're in that space where you're like overwhelmed with the responsibilities of building a business or starting a business. So these are simple things that you can just do on your social media to start, at least just begin your page, to create your page. So today we're going to be talking about those simple contents that you can create easily for your business on Canva. I would like for my first poll to come up now, so I would know the level of, the kinds of people I'm speaking to, like what level we're all on in terms of like design and stuff. So please, can my first poll question? Yeah, awesome. So the question is, what's your biggest fear when it comes to creating content for your business? So the first option, I don't know where to start. My designs might look unprofessional. I don't have any design experience. So you can just drop your answer according to your own situation, and let's see how that goes. So just dropping. So what's just sending your biggest fear? What's that big fear that you have when you're starting to create content for your business? So you can just drop it on. Let's see what these results are gonna show us, actually reveal. Okay, I think we can get the results now so that we don't really we can just get along. Okay, cool. My designs might look unprofessional. Okay, that's like the most answered one here. So that's fine. So Canva is here for you. we are here for you right now to just help you out with what you can start with. Normally, people don't really know where to start, and they don't also have design experience. So that's why we are here to just show you the basics as a individual or small business that is just starting. So now I'm going to go into my agenda for today. So I'm going to be talking about just the overview of Canva, so the dashboard, what different features are and elements are on the dashboard, and just navigating like a tour. And then I'm also going to talk about the subscription models and plans that are available on Canva. And then I'll take you through creating a brand kit and what that means in general. And also the last one, we'll do a practice session where we'll create like a poster together in few minutes. So now, this is what Canva is about, right? Once you Google Canva, this is what sums it up. Canva brings your ideas to life in minutes. So if you are thinking of, I need a sales poster, I need any type of poster, like if you check our Instagram page, if you're following us at Adlantique on Instagram, there's a video that we just released on Canva about Canva, or simple poster templates that you can create on Canva. So one of those posters are like your maybe sales poster now, and you are seeing one sales poster and it's really fine, and you have maybe pictures of your product and you're like, okay, how do I replicate this? So this is what Canva helps you to do. So it can help you to just, you see that template, edit it, edit the words, edit the picture, edit the colors to the ones that are unique to your brand. And then in minutes, just like that, you have your own content that you can even replicate on your page. So that's why I really like Canva. I kind of started with Photoshop, but it was a bit technical for me. And when I discovered Canva, it was just like something that was so easy, and how the interface of the app, everything is just easy for you. It's like a self-serving app that once you Google it, you can actually even learn by yourself. But most times people would need like guidance. And that's why I'm here for you. So now we're going to go straight into it. I think I'm just going to share my dashboard straight up. I'm just going to go straight to my dashboard, so you see what it looks like in real time. Awesome. So I hope everyone can see my screen. Please just drop a thumbs up if you can see my screen and if you're following us, Hi, Sarah. Thank you for joining us. So if you can see my screen, just give a thumbs up. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so let's just go straight into it. On the top left, where you see my cursor, you see your home, right? Home basically is the dashboard, is where it carries everything that you would need in terms of searching your templates, the features, the categories of designs that they have, and then some of the how would I put it now? Some of the, I won't say features again, some of the tools that you can use exactly. So tools like brand kits, apps, and things like that. Those are things that are inside your home, right? Then we move to on the top, you can see where you have something called, no, first of all, let me actually go to this search. Let's go to this search. So if you search your content on, this is something, so you say use 5 words to describe your design. Let's say we want to design, like I'm looking for a slide design. I want to do a project or a proposal, and I'm just looking for a document or a proposal template, or let me just say a proposal slide. So this is where you can search for, oh, that spelling wasn't correct. So this is where you can basically search for your proposal templates. It's as easy as that. This search button, and then you pick the one that suits you. Then just when we get there, we'll continue. But yeah, that is where you search for your templates. So you can go back to home, like I said, to get back to your dashboard. Now, above the screen here, you can see plans and pricing. So this is where it carries all the subscription plans that you may like need. Like, so we have the free, pro, teams, and enterprise. And we'll be going through that in a minute. Now, we have our learn. So here, basically, you can get tutorials on how to design, basically at your own pace. Just in case on this session you didn't learn, like you were not able to learn as fast, you can always learn. You can always use this button to search for tutorials that would guide you at your own pace. So here you can create your own design. So let's just say you want to create a blank space. So you can choose between documents, your Instagram reel. Let's say it's a reel you want to create, Instagram post, a square post you want to create. You can search for it here, videos and all of that. Here, custom size. Custom size is like maybe you have a document that you want to work on that has specific dimensions, width and length. So you can literally put it in here according to what the dimensions are, and then it will open a workspace for you. And here you can upload your pictures, videos, anything that you want to add. Like maybe say for a poster, you want to add a photo, so you can upload your photos here. Or you can also upload it on your canvas once we get there. But this is just the first stage, your dashboard, basically. So like you see here, these are all the features that they have, that are available to you. Right. So now we're going to talk about subscriptions. Let me go back to my slide so that this is seamless. On my slide, I'm just going to go through, like I said, I'm talking to individuals, right, who are just starting. You're just starting your business and you don't really want to overwhelm yourself with too many, like too much cost or budget. So if you have a small budget, basically is what I'm saying, you can go for the free model. But the only thing about that free plan is that you may not have access to like some quality icons or videos or stock photos that you really need for your designs. Let's take, for instance, maybe I think when I started, I was on the free model, and there were this, on Instagram, on your Instagram, you can see highlights. There are highlights that you would need, like maybe highlight covers to be showing on your Instagram. So I wanted to use particular icons that would describe maybe FAQs, packages, all those kind of things. But I couldn't find on my free plan. There were some icons that were not available. It just had this crown, on the top right that showed premium. It's a premium content, so you cannot pick it because you're still on the free plan. So what I would normally advise is to get the pro plan. To be honest, don't let this 23,900 scare you at all. This is a year 23,900 is in a year. And imagine how much content you can actually produce using Canva, with that amount. But also think about it monthly, 3,500 per month, and you're actually good to go. It's a good investment. I would recommend that you go for the pro, because there you have access to high premium or quality reel or stock videos, stock pictures, stock images, and icons and things like that. So I would really, really, really advise that you go for the pro feature. I think before I go into the next point, can my second poll come up, because I think is talking about the design level of our audience. I want to know if what our audience design level is currently. So can my second poll question come up, please? Second poll. All right. All right, before that comes up, I'll just go straight into talking about a brand kit. On my agenda, we're going to talk about, creating a brand kit on Canva, right? So what does a brand kit mean? So for every brand, let's take Adlantique for an example. We have our brand colors that we use, and we also have our brand fonts. So font is like the text that you have or that you use for your brand, that is unique to your brand. The colors unique to your brand, the fonts unique to your brand. Thank you so much for bringing my poll question up. So the question is, have you used any design tools before? So if you've used Illustrator, Figma, God knows what, anything, just drop it in the chat box or answer this question as well. Let me just know how, slowly I could go, but also fast, because we're following time, basically. So let me know your answers. What's your design? Have you used any design tools before? Let me just know in a few minutes, so we can move on to creating a brand kit. All right, while they're answering that question, I'll just go ahead with my presentation. Move this down here. All right. Okay, cool. The answers are out. So I see, have you used any design tool before? No, I'm a complete beginner. So that's how many percent? 30%. A little bit, but I'm not confident. 30%, 40%. Yes, I'm comfortable with some tools. Okay. Okay. So that means we can actually go fast with this, because I see that the audience, most of you are like comfortable with some tools, but still, let's just learn Canva. Let's see what we can do with Canva, because I think it's the easiest I've seen out there, anyways, out of all the design or graphic design tools out there. So cool. We're going to go straight to creating a brand kit. So, like I said, what's a brand? A brand is like your business, basically. But when you say a brand, so you have specific things that are unique to you, like your logo, your brand colors, your brand font, your tone of voice, things that you say, things that you don't say, colors that you use, and things like that. So like, we spoke about subscription plans, and I advise that you use the pro plan. So once you have the pro plan, because this my dashboard we're showing on it's on a pro plan, and there on the pro plan, you can have your brand kits, like you can create your brand kits. So this is what it looks like. So currently we're on home. You can see my cursor, we're on home. What we'll do is go down to brand. Please, if you're following, just give a thumbs up in the chat room so that I know that you're following me, right? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so this is where you have your brand now. Let's say, for instance, this is an example of Adlantique. So this is our logo and our brand colors. You can see it here. So now to create your own, for the sake of this session, I used just a random name called Deluxe, right? So I wanted it to see also, like I said, Canva is a self-serving like app or web app where you can also have it on mobile. It has its mobile version, which is also nice. Do you understand? So it can also you can see all those things like skip tour, where I skip the tour. It shows you step by step what each element means. So it's easier for you. So here we have our logo. Let's say you don't have a logo and you want to create a logo, or maybe, but then most times I would really advise people to get someone to design a logo because that would be something that you would be using or that would be unique to your brand. So you would want it to be perfect, like nicely done, except maybe it's like just a name. Like let's say take for instance Bolahon. Bolahon, what's your surname? Let me see what your surname is. So Bolahon Tunubi. So let's say it's Go and Sons or Geo Company, something like that. So if you have a Geo Company and it's just initials, you can actually create that on Canva, by adding new. You can add your brand guidelines and all those things here. But normally, if you've designed your logo on Canva, you can now upload it into this logos place. But normally, I would advise that you get it designed, just something small. It doesn't have to be anything deep. But here you can put in your logo. Here you can also put in your colors. So let's say you want to add color, and maybe your brand is like a mix of, let's take for instance, your brand is a mix of green and let's say green and yellow. Let's just say those things. So let's say maybe this is the shade. Let's take this shade. This down here is called a hex. So there's always a hex code for each color, like your color code. What is the exact color code? Those are things that are really important for you if you want to have a consistent color code on your Instagram page, take for instance, or your LinkedIn page, across your social media platforms. If you want to have consistency in colors, you would need to know your exact hex code so that you can have that down and also use it. So let's say, for instance, this green is one of our brand colors, and this green is too bright. Let me just take it like this. So yeah, so until the next shade is, it could be, they're giving us colors in this place. It could be blue. Do you understand? So this is where you add it. This is basically how you add your colors here. And you would see why this is important in a few minutes. Also, fonts. If you have a particular font that you want to use, let's say you can choose a font here. Let's say I want my title font. So the big fonts that show the title of things, maybe I say I want it to be Georgia Pro. Do you understand? And then my subtitle text could now be in poppins. So it depends on what you really want. It depends on what you really want for your business. So that now, why this is important is because once you start designing, these things are just on the side. So these things are just on the side for you to just like learn. They're easy for you to use at will. So because of time, I'll just rush through this. Now we have our fonts. These are the basic things. I'll just go through the basic fonts, colors, and logos. This is where you have it. Where you can add your logos, where you can add your colors, and where you can add your fonts. Awesome. So now we've been speaking a lot of English. I think it's time to go to the practical session proper. This is even the part that I like. So now this is what your canvas looks like. So this is like the plain canvas, the design canvas. So now we're just going to do a quick practical session before I give the mic to John. Let's say you want to create you're just starting, like I said, you're an individual, you're just starting. What are the first 3 posters? Some people like to use pictures on their page just to, maybe they're selling products and you just use pictures and videos and things like that. But let's say you have a poster, like for your first 3 or your first post or poster should be about who you are as a brand, what you offer. So let's say you want to create a why us, why choose us kind of template. So let me just pick, let me pick this. Let me pick this type of, for instance. So you can see on the left, if you go to brand, right? If you go to where brand is, normally I use Adlantique normally for these kinds of, maybe if I want to use like quick designs and stuff like that. You can see that our logos are the different logos, and the different logos are here already available because I have uploaded them, so that in case I need to put it, let's say I want to remove where this company now. So you click on that and you just delete. And then you can click on your Adlantique or your own logo and then replace it there. And to be so let's go back. Thank God for Control Z, guys. Thank God for Control Z because some mistakes you have to come back from them. Okay, so let's say you're someone that puts your logo in the middle and this is how it is. Then now you see where the colors are. This is our color palette. So if I don't want to use this exact color palette that is already given to me here as a template, I just click on this to shuffle it. So you see it picks your brand colors and shuffles the color codes on the template that you've chosen just to suit. And then you now pick, do I want a black background? Is it white background that I want to use or this light blue? This is what this brand kit will do for you. It just gives you options, right? Based off of your unique brand color and brand guide. So, and then your fonts, let's say this is Garrett's currently. This choose is already Garrett. So if I want to change the font, I go up to where the Garrett is showing. That is, I hope you can see my cursor here. And you click on it. And let's say my chosen font is Poppins, for instance. So I want to change all this text to Poppins. I do change all. And it's that easy. It's on your brand color. You have your brand font, you have your brand colors used, and you also have your logo available. And then here on the left, so I hope you're all following you. On the left, you have elements where you can add maybe icons. Let's say I want to add a line, for instance. Let me say a line doodle. Let me just give an example. Just a line doodle. White, let's see. So see this kind of line now, right? I just want to add it here just for aesthetics, right? This is where you find in your elements. You can find pictures, photos here as well. You can find graphics, you can find videos related to what you've searched. You understand? And then you can also change the colors depending on what suits you. So this is why I said Canva really makes it easy for you. Makes it really easy for you. So like this now, we've created some sort of a what they call it, like a design, and you're good to go. You can just start this way and it will be easier for you. So if you have any questions for me, because I think so like my time is kind of up, but if you have any questions for me, let me just know in the Q&A so that let me know in the Q&A if you have any questions, anything that you want me to put you through. But basically, we're ready to start. Once you've gotten to this stage, I think you can now be searching for design templates, So if I want to say meet the team poster now, for example, I can do that. I can search for that, meet the team poster. And then I have my templates here that I could use based on what I like. Do you understand? Or based on what you like. So you can just use this. Available many nice. So see, if you're on Pro, these are the kind of nice stuff you can get. If you're on this thing, you will not be able to get things that are like how this nice. But yeah, so you're ready to start. I really hope that all this talk was really beneficial for you. But that's all from me. Do you have any questions? Okay, I actually checked in
Thank you
the
so
Q&A.
much, Lamidi. Thank you.
Yeah,
It was
thank you
such
so
an
much.
interesting conversation. I know that
Awesome,
I have
awesome.
tried some of the things you had already said. So we have
Yeah.
someone here asking, how many Golahon is asking how many like brand fonts, how many brand fonts it should be, like if you are designing. So how many fonts can you use on a particular design, which is very key. So you would see things like there are different fonts here. So which ones do you advise for him to use if he's trying to, design something for his business?
Okay, perfect. That's from who? Who do you say asked? Who did you say asked that
From
question?
Golahon.
Okay, hi Bolango, this is our ambassador. Thank you so much for joining us again. So this is an example. Let's say we have this poster, right? No, let me just use this, add a new page. Let's say we have this poster. So the use of fonts is also to make your design nicer. So like I said, this is going to be your main font. Let's say the main font is this Le Jour Serif. This is your main font, but you need to have like at least 2 to 3 different fonts on your design on your own poster design. You need to have two to three. Based off of this poster now, for example, we have available in one font online now. That's the call to action, like all what they are pointing you to. It can be in like an italicized kind of font so that it can be like it looks nice. It just makes it look really nice. And then you can have where you write your social media handle or maybe follow us or things like that in a more relaxed font style. But in terms of things when you're designing your topic or your copies, you can have two fonts, two major fonts, one that has the bold text and the one that carries like the smaller text. So I think 2 to 3 is fine.
Okay, thank you so much. So, well, home for when you are trying to experiment with Canva, so 2 to 3 fonts are perfect. Not too much, not too less, to give
Yeah.
you that feel that you're looking for. I think that before we go ahead with the second question, someone is saying that their network is glitching. So if you are having network issues at any point, you can leave the call and then join back again using the link from the mail that had been sent out. If you still missed out on any point, you can always go to our website at www.adlantique.com to catch up on everything that you have missed, because this session is being recorded and it will be sent to the website for you to follow us on and follow with. So I think my second question would be, a lot of people believe that when they use Canva, they've automatically become designers, right? So I just want you to clarify that part so that people are very clear that, Canva is not
See,
all at
see,
all. So yeah.
I'm all for Canva. All those haters that are using Photoshop, all those our ancestors that want to stress themselves and count lines and be structuring things with ruler. Sorry, the world is moving up. The world is going, technology is now upgrading. So we have to upgrade with it. If we found an app that is useful for us, that is making life easy, why do you want to stress yourself? Why? I would just really advise you to go for Canva because Photoshop, that one is another speed. Except maybe you are focusing on graphics design as your own career. Hey, that one is best for you to use for like, but in terms of quick designs and things that are just easy, Canva is very good. Even for great designs, Canva, it just depends on how you use it. So I would really advise Canva. I don't care about all those other things, all those
Okay.
other apps.
Okay, I know maybe we have a few designers that would disagree, but yeah, let's go ahead.
Someone says
So
Canva the
Canva
goat.
is
Thank
great.
you, Emmanuel.
So yeah, it's been such an engaging conversation. I know
Thank
I've
you.
learned a lot. I hope you have also learned a lot as everybody's attending and by dropping questions and emojis. I hope we are also following. So somebody says, "Oh, Golahon, we need to give you like a prize or just name you like an ambassador of the week because you've been back
I'm
to back
telling you, I'm
asking us
telling
questions."
you.
So Golahon is saying, "I engage in graphic design every day using Canva most times, but I always have something I call brain fatigue. So basically something affects like the flow of his design. So he wants to know, and it takes up most of his time to come out of that, and to go back to, designing. So what would you suggest somebody that is using Canva and sort of dealing with that kind of block? What would you suggest?
So I would suggest plain and simple. Press X. You know that place where they say X. Just remove the page from your screen. Do something else, then come back. Because once you're tired like that, there's no progress you can make. Not some you won't be productive. So I just say cancel that tab, do something else, and then come back to it. Canva is always there to guide you. It's very easy. You see your template there, pick it, switch your colors, and then your post is ready. So I would just say cancel it, do something else, then come back.
All right. Thank you so much, Lamidi. Thank you so much. If we have any more questions, we can drop it and then we'll answer as we go ahead. So we're moving on to our second speaker, John. So we're going to be talking about something quite interesting, still in line with, helping your business grow. So we're talking about how to use simple AI tools. I know that all of us are now in the AI era where we are talking about, oh, how can AI help me and stuff like that. So we're just going to be having that conversation with John. Hi, John. Can you hear us?
Yes, Jessica, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Thank you very much. So before you go into explaining, I have a question to just sort of clarify and give us like a background before we go into like the conversation we are having. So basically people have been talking about AI and how AI is helping in every sphere of life and things like that. And we're about to delve into a conversation. I'm using the word delve, I mean. So we're about to delve into a conversation about AI helping us to create captions and whatnot. So I think my first question would be like, how did it come about? We've been doing stuff for ourselves, and then the whole AI conversation starting up in our everyday now is now like one of our linguas that we use. And somebody saying, "I need AI to do this for me and do that for me." And then basically, who exactly needs AI? I think people on this call need to know. So, who exactly needs AI, and why do we need it? So, I think we can start off from there.
Okay, thank you for that question. Welcome to everyone once again to this session. As long as you want to put out content on any platform on the internet, you need the support of AI because you're juggling between, doing your normal work, you're juggling between, if you have an online business, you have to put out content, you have to do a little bit of content writing, your copies, your captions, your engagement, and all of that, and also designs, right? And you have your personal life to live as well. So there will be moments where you have what we call the creator's block, right? Where you really can't, churn out content consistently. So that's where you need this bit of, push, to just jumpstart the creative process. And, AI has been helping us a lot in that part. So yeah, everybody, as long as you want to push out content, everybody needs the help of AI, no matter how good you are. There are times where you might be a bit tired, and you need to be on the rush. You need to push out content as quickly as possible, especially when you have, your line manager or your boss on your neck and you just have to churn out content quickly. So yeah, everybody needs AI.
Okay, thank you, John. I think this just helps us sort of answer Golaho's question. I know that Lamide has, addressed it. When you have like that block, what do you do? So I think you've started off with that in telling us that, we have to, AI just helps us in that phase where, like Golaho said, imagine you're having that kind of situation and you have a deadline or something. So this just shows that, AI can come in to address, that situation.
Yeah.
So I hope that's answered Bolaho's question fully. Hi, Bolaho. I hope you are still here with us. So you mentioned I asked the question earlier, like who exactly can use AI tools that you are talking about? Who exactly is the target? How do we use it and things like that? So that would be my next question to sort of help the presentation
Okay.
move forward.
I think first of all, maybe we could just put out a poll while we're having this conversation. The first poll, maybe first poll can come up, then we have this conversation and then we get to see the people's feedback from that. But to answer your question, yeah, like I said, as long as you're pushing out content, everybody needs AI. You have your content creators, regular content creators, your media managers, freelancers, script writers, content marketing teams, SEO specialists, non-native writers, bloggers as well. Everybody just needs AI because the space is so saturated. Everybody's pushing out content daily, and you can push out as much content as is required, to compete in the space because everybody wants to, be at that point where their piece of content is at the summit. Everybody wants to be seen, everybody wants to be heard. So when you have that creative block when it arrives, you can't say, oh, I can't really do anything right now. Whether you're a freelancer or you're working for a company or working for an agency or whatever, you just have to push out content as quickly as possible. So as far as you're pushing out content, you need AI. Okay, you can see from the results, 80% of the audience use AI writing tools in their content creation process.
Okay, so thank you very much, John. I think that from that poll question, people already say that they use AI tools. So my next question would be like, what are the kind of AI tools that people can use for content creation? So there's so much out there. how would you suggest that we filter which one works best? Which one would you suggest like is top ranking if you want to give like a 1 to 5 recommendation?
Okay. At the top of my head, when I heard about AI content writing tools, and most persons, the first tool that just comes to mind is ChatGPT. Everybody just instantly just thinks of ChatGPT, right? And there have been lots of conversations on social media, people having conversations offline as well. There was this recent one on Twitter about when that word delve came up and made it look like it was an unnatural word, so to say. And this conversation about what kind of words that we get from content writing tools and how to avoid them. It's all down to tailoring, right? So everybody has the tool that works for them, whether it's on a web app or to a mobile app. Everybody has the tools that work for them. I would personally, there's a tool I just recently discovered. My colleague just showed it to me. That's Gemini. If not, I was actually also using ChatGPT when I just started using AI tools. But Gemini, I would say I love the UI, and I also love it's easier to give prompts to Gemini than to ChatGPT, because when you give the first prompts to ChatGPT before you start tailoring the results and all of that, it's before you get rid of those, let me say, high level words, so to say, as people had the conversations like delve, elevate, ignite, and the likes. It's easier to tailor your prompts in tools like Gemini, right? So personally, I would recommend Gemini, especially to persons that are just starting, to use AI writing tools for content writing. But there are a lot of them out there. If you're using tools for paraphrasing or summarizing the skill, but if you're doing your regular writing, you can integrate a tool like Grammarly into your web browser, and then it helps to check on the go. So there are a lot of tools out there, but personally, for a web app, I would recommend Gemini. And then for Chrome extensions, your web extensions, Killbot or Grammarly are my recommendations.
All right, thank you so much. So I've heard Gemini, I've heard Grammarly, I've heard ChatGPT, and I know there's so many others. But you mentioned something that's quite unique. You mentioned prompts. So in terms of the prompts, I think that where I would start from is a lot of people might also be asking people that have not used an AI tool before, or don't know that it's called a prompt. Some people call it command. So would you like to sort of clarify what the prompt is and how to feed this AI tool? So I've heard people say that they use ChatGPT to search for something and somebody else searches for the same thing and they get the same exact words, same exact result. So I think the question now would be, how do you put in something or a command or a prompt, like you have said, into these AI writing tools or content creation tools or content writing tools and get them to give you like a different, unique result from what everybody's already getting?
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that question. Yeah, like I said, it's setting the right prompts in this writing to get the kind of result they are looking for. First of all, if you're trying to like push out content, let me say for your design copies or your captions, you need to have your goal set out. You need to know what you want to achieve with this piece of content, whether you want to inform or you persuade or entertain or anything else. You need to have your goal. You need to know who your target audience are. Who are you writing for? Understand your demographics, their interests, their pain points. That would guide how you approach, the prompt that you're putting out there. And then you need to have your topic, what the subject matter that you want the AI to focus on. You need to have your content format. Is it a blog post? Is it a social media caption? Is it a product description? Whatever format, you also need to have that down. Then you need to also put into consideration your tool and your style. This majorly might depend on what your brand is about, right? Do you want it to be formal, informal? You want to have a bit of humor? Do you want to be very serious, right? And then indicate or add keywords, relevant keywords that you want the AI to incorporate into the result that is going to give out to you. So when you have all of this in place, you've put all of this in prospect, and then you tailor your prompt to the AI content writing tool. then you get the desired result. But if you're just putting out your prompts to the AI tool just as it is, it's just going to give you whatever it wants to give you, right? You might have, an accurate result, but it's not going to be as precise as you want it to be, right? It's just going to give you, like you said, everybody is just getting the same result. But when you have all this in place, when you are pushing out your prompt or command to the AI writing tool, definitely you get the best kind of results that give you whatever it is that you're looking for, the result you're looking for from the content that you're pushing out.
All right, thank you so much, John. So this just means that you need to know what you're putting into your AI and what you're feeding it. So it's just like your baby. You need to know what you're feeding it for it to give you that right result that you're looking for.
It's kind of like what they told us back in school when we were young, garbage in, garbage out. So whatever you're pushing out to the AI writing tool is going to give you back. So the more details you put into the content writing tool, the more you get out of it.
All right, thank you so much. If you are just joining us, we are speaking to how to use AI tools to create captions. If you've been here for a while and you have any question, please you can drop it on the Q&A part of your chat, or you can drop it on the chat itself, and we'll just pick up and address as the conversation builds up. Okay, we have some questions here. Please give me a minute. So the first question here is from Emmanuel. He's asking, can AI writing tools replace human content creators? So that's a very important question. So I would like you to help us address that. So does AI writing tools make you a writer completely? So
Well, at the end of the day, you still need someone to put prompts into whatever device they're using, where the AI content writing into it. Somebody has to put in that prompt at the end of the day. So it's not going to completely replace humans. Basically, we as content creators, we just use, as it's called, it's just a tool, right? It's everything technology, they're just tools to make life easier for us, right? It's not there to completely replace us. Like I spoke about having that creator's block, right? When that creative block is there, that's when you need that tool to help you, right? Like I said, no matter how good you are, that period is going to come where you need a little bit of push, a little bit of jump start, to get to set the ball rolling. So no, AI isn't going to completely replace human beings. People, that bit of creativity also needs to be there, right? So yeah.
all right, thank you. As we've heard, don't go and fire your content writer, because your content writer still needs to put in the prompt, like we have learned today, in order to give you that result. So please don't sack your content people. Still keep them, because you cannot use AI on your own. So the second question here is, Bolahan is asking, is there any AI tool that I can use on web without having to download, as an application? Specifically, he's asking for Gemini. So does he have to download Gemini or ChatGPT as an app, or can he just access on web?
Okay. I think maybe I'll answer that question and then I'll do a little bit of a practical to show how we can use Gemini. But you don't need an app. It's a site, gemini.ai. Yeah, it's just type it out and then you log in or you sign in if you're using it for the first time. And then use it. You don't really need an application. But in cases where you're on the go, right, and you need your AI to, yeah, you might still need a mobile application in that case. But if you're necessarily just looking for a web application, yeah, Gemini, you don't really need to download anything. It's strictly on the web.
Okay, thank you so much. So, well, you don't need to download. You can just use your web and search for Gemini or search for ChatGPT, and it comes up, and then you can just proceed to use it. So we have another question here, from Felix. It says, how can I ensure that the content generated by AI tools are correct and reflect my brand voice and message? So that's the next question. So how do we ensure that when we put in that prompt, what we are getting back is in line with, you mentioned brand earlier when you were speaking, John. You had mentioned, brand voice and things like that. So how do we put in the right prompt, or what do we do to make sure that AI gives us, that messaging that reflects what we want?
Okay. Yeah, it's just about tailoring your prompts, right? Making sure they're putting in the right prompts. Like I said when I was talking about tailoring your prompts, when you know exactly what you want to give to the content writing tool, and then you know what kind of results that you want to achieve when your content goes out, the kind of feedback that you want your audience to get, what exactly you really want to achieve, basically, and then you list them out, you tailor your prompts with all of that, then you get your result. But looking at it from this point of view, it's AI, right? It's on the internet. It has access to a lot of research files, a lot of documents, whatever campaign that you want to put out, whatever piece of information that you want to put out, either on your design copy or your caption or whatever, there's definitely someone else or any other brand that has done it before. So the AI has access to all of these, right? So whatever prompt you're putting into the AI content writing tool, you're definitely getting the best results, right? So once you have your prompt properly tailored, you're getting the best results off the internet. So yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So when you're putting in your prompt, make sure that you know what you want before you even start in the first place so that you can get the best out of these tools. So we have another question and it says, beyond content writing, are there other aspects of content creation that AI can help with? So we've been talking about creating captions and content and content and content. So is there any other thing that we can do with these same AI tools that you have mentioned, like the Chat GPT and other things?
Yes, thank you for that question. Definitely, there's a whole lot more. The first time I started using ChatGPT, personally, I looked at it and I was discussing with some of my friends. I was like, if I knew about something like this or something like this was in existence when I was in school, I wouldn't have as much, I wouldn't have had as much stress as I had, right? Because it pretty much just makes everything easy, as far as writing is concerned, because everything, like I said in the last point I made, everything on the internet, the AI has access to all of that. So rather than going from site to site, doing a lot of researches, doing a lot of writing, you can just give it prompts and then it gives you all the results at the tip of your fingers. And all you have to do is just copy, paste. And when you're tailoring your prompts the right way, basically you're getting the right results to give out. So if you have research documents, um, you have any kind of anything that has to do with research on the internet, basically you can use AI content writing tools to do all of that. As little as even sending an email, like when you type an email and then you want to be absolutely sure that what you're sending out, if it's an official mail, is like properly written. You can just type out what you want to type out and then give a prompt to the content writing tool, um, tailor your prompts properly, send it out, and then it gives you a properly written email. So it's as little as something like sending an email. You can use an AI content writing tool. So yeah, as long as it's writing, yes, there are a lot of uses.
All right, thank you so much, John. Now we'll be having like a very practical section. We've been talking about, Chat GPT, Gemini, and the rest of that. And I think this session is going to basically help somebody's question. So God's gift asked a question and was like, what's the spelling of this app? So I think that in this session you'd be able to see like the spelling and how to use it. So John will be walking us through that process. Over to you, John.
All right, thank you. So I'll just go over to my browser now. Okay, right now I'll be assuming that my screen is visible to everyone. All right, so this is how your page is going to look like when you've already registered, when you've logged in. So this is the URL, as you can see, gemini.google.com/app. For first-time users, you can just search Gemini AI on Google, and then let me just put it out here so you can see it. Gemini AI. Then you can see the AI content writing tool here as your first search. If it doesn't show as your first search option, I think it's showing as mine because I'm used to it. So you just have to look for it. This is the logo. All right, so and since I'm already logged in, It already has my name. It's personalized, right? So I think that's also what I did. Like I said earlier, why I mentioned Gemini is because of the user interface. I'm a fan of dark colors, so yes, this is it. So there are a bit of information around here, some free prompts are given here as examples that you want to use, but here is where you put in your prompt. So I'll just send in a short prompt that I've pre-written. Or just give me a moment. Okay. So while you can see this on your screen, right? So there's no delay. If you are on your devices, you can also open up the website and you can see how it looks on your end, if it's exactly as it is on my screen as well. If it's a little bit of, there's a bit of difference on your screen, you can just drop something in the chat box so I can respond to that on how you can get to the site exactly.
Okay, so while we wait on the prompt,
Sorry, sorry for that.
yeah.
All right,
So okay,
so yeah, based off of what I said, from the prompt you can see here, let me just read it out for those that might not be saying it. Here we have write a blog post, which is number one. You have given out exactly the content format that you want the AI content writing to give out to you. You have the target audience, targeting small business owners who are new to social media marketing, right? Explain how social media can help them generate leads and grow their customer base. Use a friendly and conversational tone and include actionable tips that small businesses can easily implement. You can see that this is not the regular prompt that we give our content writing tools like ChatGPT and the rest of them. This is a well-tailored prompt that has everything that you need. You understand? So the result that you will get from this type of prompt is different from when you just type out, oh, you need a blog post, right? So putting the target audience, putting exactly what you want to get, right? You get the result. So let's just give a search on this. And this is the result that you have, well-tailored, even with a bonus tip. This is something that Gemini gives. There's always a bonus tip at the end of the day. So looking at the results now, you have first the headline, and then because of the tone that I put here, a friendly and conversational tone, this is how it starts. Hey there, fellow small business owner. You see that the tone is a lot different from when you have like a formal, prompt or the usual ignite your or elevate your or let's delve into. So the tone has given, this blog post a bit of a friendly look, right? And then all the way down, you can also see the actionable tips that was also included in the prompt. So basically, the only reason why this result is, this detailed is because the prompt was well tailored, right? If I do not, let me just give an example with this. It's still the same Gemini. Let me just see, write a blog post to help me generate more leads. This is a blog post, quite all right, but there is no target audience, right? When you put this out there, there's going to be a huge difference between who this first result is going to hit and who the second result is going to hit. Like there's a huge difference, right? It's just all the way down, right? And you can see that there's a difference here. In the first prompt, I included that I needed actionable tips, right, for users to get started. Or in the second one, it's just a plain blog, right? So there's a huge difference between when you put everything that you need in your prompt and when you just put out the prompt straight to the content writing AI tool. So yeah, it's just all about putting in your prompt, making sure that everything that you need is well tailored, and then you get the result.
All right, thank you so much, John. Thank you for the practical session. I'm sure a lot of us have learned from it. But like my final question would be still on this session. If I want to create a caption for my Instagram photo, how do I go about it in a way that it's tailored for the platform? So if I want to post on Instagram, right, it will be different from my Twitter, it will be different from. So how do I go about that, making sure that I get still the same caption, but like in different formats for different social media platforms and posts?
Okay. All right. Let's just do it practically here. So you're writing an Instagram caption. Right, sorry. Write an Instagram caption. Okay, so write a caption for a, let's just choose business type. Just give me any business at the top of your head that I can just use for this.
Choose.
Okay, write a caption for a startup. Business showcasing a new set of shoes for, let me see, middle class individuals or on Instagram. I didn't even put number of options, but it gave me separate options. So option one, level up your everyday with then you can have your shoe name or your brand name. This new collection is designed for busy lives and budgets. Which color speaks to you? It's very engaging, playful, and relatable as it should. Yeah. Then you have relatable hashtags. You can have your own hashtags that you want to add to that, but this gives you a jump start. Like I said, AI is just jump start. So from this, you can now tailor whatever hashtags that you want to use. This one focuses on value. Introducing, you have your brand name, quality you can trust, comfort that lasts, blah, 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 shop now, right? And then the hashtag as well. So yeah, this just basically gives it for Instagram. Short, straight to the point, with the right keywords.
All right, thank you so much. So while you were talking, you basically just answered one of the questions, which is you spoke to the fact that it's just a guide. So we don't just lift off and put it like this so that somebody doesn't come tomorrow and say, I mean, you copied my caption and things like that. So again, it goes back to the fact that although AI is great and it's for simple work that we can do, it's not, it doesn't negate the fact that you still need people. Because I mean, we have seen it practically here where John has had to put in the right prompts in order to get the right results. So imagine if you do not have somebody like John on your team, right, to do that work for you. So it's very essential that although we are learning how to use these tools and we need to practicalize it, it doesn't mean that you should sack your creative team. There is also that place of, that teamwork and, your team putting in the efforts to give you the desired result that you need for your business. So AI is not going to do
Yeah.
everything for you. You need the actual things. So thank you so much, John. It was such an exciting session. Thank you again,
Yeah.
Lamide. Before we close off, you can
I
follow
was
us
actually
on
gonna
all.
just say, yeah.
Okay.
I was actually going to say something very quick. Like I was just going to that point that you just mentioned. Like all these things that
Yeah.
we've taught today is just to show you, like, it's just to help you to start. So once you scale and you get to that level where you can afford like to pay an agency, you can come to us where we will now help you to make it consistent, where you focus on your business and getting money and things like that. So yes, you can continue now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lamidi. You've heard her. You can come to us. So AI is not an agency. AI is just for your simple task. So please, if you are still on the call or you've missed out at any point, a recording of this session will be sent to you. You can also access it on our website, www.adlantique.com. You can also follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on LinkedIn. You can follow us on Facebook as well. All the links have been dropped in the chat session, so you can just check that section and pick it up and then follow us. If you'd like to continue a conversation outside of this webinar, you can send us a DM on any of our pages and we'll be glad to just pick up the conversation with you and pick it up from there to just give you clarity on what you need to know. So thank you so much everyone for joining us. It's been about 1 hour, 7 minutes of exciting conversation. I hope you had fun and I hope you practicalize as much as I did because I mean, I've learned how to do stuff on Canva and I've also learned that, I can put in different prompts to get different results on Gemini as well and ChatGPT and the rest of that. So please make sure to practicalize and then follow us and we'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a lovely evening and thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.